the prices have been increased. Our staff wages have increased. And I'm like, we're very honest. If I count for this amount of time, this is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get paid for. If you do it in this amount of time, you'll receive your P for P. If it's a job that's come in and it's quite a large landscaping job, I'll offer a profit share for my staff members. Mm-hmm. But it's like we get to 2 weeks and they've gotten all this money coming through, and then after 2 weeks, they literally drop off the radar.
Yeah, like so.
But my latest one was I hit a pig and I never heard of him again.
Yeah, like.
And I was like.
I know over in Australia this is an acute problem, in part because of the way you all have to do with your labor market. It's different. The wages, the way that you have to have tiers of wages and benchmarks of like base wage. So this is what I would recommend. If you're still turning away leads, and by the way, you raised prices to the point like you thought was absurd and no one blinked an eye, do it again. And literally think of it as like, we're going to give every dollar of that increase basically back to our team. And you're going to do that by raising base pay. Okay. Because when you raise the the price to the customer on P for P, a chunk of that's going to the team member already. But let's raise wages of base pay, because that's what's going to attract new talent anyways, right? They're looking at the base pay. Okay. So I want it to be like absurd, because in the past, it sounds like you raise prices and no one batted an eye. Let's actually get to the point where actually people do get concerned and they leave. And you actually want that because you have so many leads coming and you can't serve them anyways. But now think of it as like, I want to give every dollar back to my team members, to the point where you think it's absolutely insane how much you're giving them. Because the reason they're leaving is because of the heat. And if the heat is so bad, we need to pay them so much, they don't want to lose the job.
And that's correct. I mean, I've even gotten to the extent of where my 10-year-old daughter is making our staff members lunch. So they don't even have to worry about, lunch breaks, and not lunch breaks, going to buy their own lunch, because, we understand it's so hot. So we provide the staff lunch. And I'm thinking, I said today, surely this is, going to help. But no, not at all. But I like your strategy, increase and give back more. Because at the moment we have 4 setups ready to go for our crew. But as I spoke today this morning, we're kind of running on skeleton crew with the amount of work that we have to do, because we've got quite a large portfolio of residential customers, but we also have a lot of, we've got a couple of schools here in the territory that we service as well.
Yep. So I just think it comes down to the fact that employees come for a paycheck. And so if we want to make sure they stay, we got to pay them more. If I would have said, have you raised prices? You said you did and you lost 50% of your customers, we'd be in a really big pickle, because we'd have no upward trajectory. And I'd be thinking about things like, can you get them lunch? Can you do a better culture? All these other things. But the fact is, right now, your value is so much higher than what you're currently charging your customers. When you raised your prices by what you thought was a lot, no one left. That means you have a huge value discrepancy. So get as much money out of that by raising prices and then giving that to your team members before you start assuming that there's other things in the business you need to fix, because those things can be fixed, things like culture, etc. It's a whole lot easier just to raise prices with one email and then increase base pay and immediately get a different type of talent pool, because you guys are up against things like mining industry where they're going to make a lot more money. So if you want to go tap into that market, you're going to have to get your base pay significantly higher.
Correct. And, as you would know, in Australia, we do have to go by tiers. And we have at times a 19-year-old who absolutely no experience that I've recently hired. And I believe he's creaming it at, I think he's about $35 an hour plus his incentives on top.
Yep.
But then it's getting them motivated to, okay, let's go. Yes, I know it's hot. We're in our hottest part of the year. We've got 12 weeks to go. And then when the beautiful full season, and we can scale back and, do all our nice things, where this time of the year we don't do any cleanup as it is too hot.
Right.
So I do like your theory, and I'll definitely put it forward.
Circle back. Can't wait to hear back from you. Best of luck to you. Take care.
Thanks, Mike.
You got it.
Thanks. Bye.
Next caller is coming in from 865. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.